Welcome back to Ditch the Debate podcast. I'm your host, Tennille. It's been a minute, my friends. I've been busy working on lining up some super cool guests who will be sharing some awesome insights over the next coming weeks. But today, I want to talk about a concept that has profoundly impacted my life recently: the let them mindset. As someone who has struggled with perfectionism and control issues, I've found myself dealing with burnout, disappointment, strained relationships, and stress more times than I care to count. The let them mindset might seem out of reach right now, but I encourage you to keep it at the forefront of your mind. Once you can embrace this concept, things really start to change. So, what exactly is the let them mindset? It's about relinquishing the need to control others' thoughts, actions, and opinions, and instead focusing on what you can control: your own responses and actions. Let's go back to the roots of this mindset. It's actually been around for ages, but I think we've lost sight of it. You might remember that infamous serenity prayer: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We get so caught up in trying to control the uncontrollable that we have robbed ourselves of peace and happiness. Control, like perfectionism, is an illusion, my friends. We spend our time trying to be the perfect mom, the perfect businesswoman, meeting societal and family expectations. While we've established more than once that this is unrealistic, these challenges are undeniable and faced daily. When we decide to exercise our let them mindset, the grip loosens. So, a year ago, I found myself in a situation where another reinvention was necessary, and it came with a shitload of healing. Navigating this while managing motherhood, life, and business, I kept bumping into challenges that hadn't really been issues before. Let me digress here a little bit. Okay, so I come from a corporate background, a place where scarcity mindset drove me to do whatever was necessary in order to make ends meet, right? I knew in my heart I was made for more, but I kept telling myself that this was the hand that I was dealt and I needed to work to pay the bills. This meant that I felt compelled to ensure everything was done and delivered to a ridiculous standard, often at the cost of my inner peace. The reward? More work, tighter deadlines, higher expectations. And this is a normal response, especially in a male dominated world where I was paid less and I delivered more. Despite my high ambitions, they came at the cost of me. People pleasing, never saying no, delivering on or before deadlines, over delivering on expectations. These became my norms. I was often overlooked for promotions and underestimated in every single role. But I kept telling myself I needed the money, the job, so I had to suck it up. Wrong. The lessons I was teaching myself were incredibly wrong. Over the past year, I've gone through a million emotions, forgiving and apologizing myself because I didn't deserve any of it. None of you do. Quick side note here. These lessons actually start way back in childhood, and we continue these patterns until we break them. I'm going to do a bit more on this in another episode. So, back on track. From my corporate career to becoming a mother, starting my own marketing consultancy, and now moving into coaching and entrepreneurship, the pattern I followed was one of scarcity and fear. I told myself that my value lay in employment and money, making me a chameleon in almost everything. I showed up for people who would never show up for me, said yes to everything despite it burning a hole in my soul, sacrificed family time for others, and fit into toxic dynamics. The list goes on, right? When God, the universe, or whatever you believe in, sends you a message and you don't listen, it will make you listen. I knew with every cell in my body that I was done sacrificing myself for others, but I ignored it because of the story that I'd been telling myself. Eventually, that story was taken away. My last contract job in marketing was the final straw. It was a terrible experience, leaving a bitter taste and making me so resentful. However, in hindsight, it did me a huge favor. I had built my business to six figures and was comfortable, but I knew it wasn't my calling. Ending that part of my career with a hard no gave me the closure and energy for another reinvention. While navigating healing and finding my zone of genius, I learned I was holding on to things and trying to control situations that were draining me. Let them. It sounds basic, but it's one of the hardest things any working mom can do. Control issues are real, and the risk of things not going according to plan can send us into chaos. But if we're honest, it's not realistic. The only thing we can control is the planning. How it unfolds is out of our control, as there are always other elements at play. Even as a solopreneur, things happen. Waking up to a sick child when you have back-to-back meetings, planning a strict exercise routine only to get injured, scheduling help with kids only for it all to fall through. These things happen a lot. What could you have done differently? How could you have controlled any of this? You couldn't. Let them is all about allowing yourself grace. A delayed launch. Let them. You got to show up for your sick child. Not hitting strength or weight goals due to an injury. Let them. Your body deserved a break. Moving your work schedule because help didn't arrive. Let them. You got extra time with your kids. Does this make sense? In work environments, family or friends, I use this mindset a lot. I've been surrounded by people who are not my people. Judgment, let them. Expectations, let them. Underestimating me, let them. Constantly sharing opinions about me, let them. Not listening after asking me a question, let them. Distracted while wanting time with me, let them. Telling me how bad I am in order for them to feel superior, let them. Whatever is going on with whoever, my advice is just let them. You will never change humans, right? They change themselves. So why expend so much energy? Find your people. Thanks for your time on this one. I really just wanted to get it out as I know how much it's helped me. Almost a quote unquote fuck it attitude, right? But continuing to be in your truest form. Stop letting perfectionism, comparisonitis, and other humans dull your light or make you play small. You are you, and you are exactly what this world needs. So let's ditch the debate and let them. You've got this.